pressure on us to believe in something until that age. She got saved by Jesus. Hopped up on Jesus juice. Nothing against the master. You know what I'm saying? There's many masters and prophets that came to the earth. That's just my opinion. I don't view Jesus as God. I view God as God. And Jesus was God's son. He came here as a man with a godly spirit. Like a lot of us children of men do. Children of God do. Not men. Children of God, right? So, I had no clue what faith was. And I damn sure didn't know what discernment was about. We're going to start with faith first. So, with faith, I got baptized and everything. They ended up, pressuring me to get baptized. I was the last one standing too. I was the last one left. So I was the only one standing when it came for them to ask who was baptized in the church. So I ended up getting baptized. And I had no clue what the fuck it was about. Had no clue what I was doing, participating in. And, only what they explained to me, right? So, yeah, I got baptized and I went to church every Sunday, did the whole thing. And I started going through as soon as I got baptized, started going through my why phase, asking questions. Why? Why the fuck is this like this? Why is it like this? Why is it like that? So I went through my own awakening, and that led me on a search for God. I wanted to know God myself. I wanted to have direct communication. I didn't want to have to go through Jesus or Krishna, Shiva. A lot of people view these entities, right, as God himself. But in reality, they all came down and lived a manly life. Went through all the temptations and all that. And who fucking knows? Because it was so fucking long ago, nobody was even alive. Everybody wants to take their word, from a book that was written by a man that was gay. The Bible. I mean, shit, I follow the Bhagavad Gita more than the Bible. Because it's older, number one. And it was actually channeled by saints in India. The Bhagavad Gita. The Bible was written by King James, which was he was gay, he was homosexual, Gita did come to me. It was given to me in the subway. Going to work one day. A monk actually just gave it to me. I was walking through the subway, and a monk just gave me the Bhagavad Gita. And at first it was a soft copy. And it's crazy because when the Bhagavad Gita came to me, I had just finished reading Yogananda. And it was like divine synchronicity. And he had gave me it was a monk. He had gave me not a monk, a saint from the temple. And he had gave me a soft version, a soft copy. And ended up, he was like, whatever you can donate. So I just ended up donating $10 because I just felt like it was divine, you know. And he ended up giving me a hard copy, and I still got that hard copy to this day. And read through the whole Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, it was a spiritual thing. And I completed it. Took many baths in between completing it, but when I completed it, I took a very spiritual bath, and yeah, that's my connection with that book. But the way that I found God and started to have faith in God, when God showed me Himself or herself. Because I see God as the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies that co-create on different levels of existence, right? So there's levels to existence. There's a material realm, there's a spiritual realm, and then there's the absolute, right? The source of everything, of all things, God. Many levels to this. So I was at a place where I had done so many psychedelics that I felt like I lost myself. I lost my connection with God. I lost who I was. Forgot who I was. On many levels. And what really got me back into knowing God was me managing my time through my yoga practices, breath practices, and staying up on knowledge, you know? Constantly feeding my brain and remembering different things. I feel like that's what kept me. And what kept me on the path to, you know, find God completely. And when I found showed me, right, that He existed, that it was real. You know, I had everything taken from me. I didn't know who I was. Sick of psychedelics, releasing music, I was doing all of these different things, and faith. I had to believe in myself in a place where I couldn't see what was going to happen next. So I had to believe in a place where I felt hopeless. I didn't know who I was. I know who I wanted to be, but I didn't know who I was. meditation and through all of the breath work that I've done, visualization as well, practices, I've learned to imagine where I want to be in the future. Now, imagine how it feels, right? I learned that through sitting with myself and creating these different spaces within my head, within my mind, right? Or with no mind. Because you actually need to go into some type of stillness to actually arrive somewhere else. But that's a deeper conversation. So I'm at this place in life where I have to basically pretend that it's already done, that I have everything that I need, that I have a place to live, have a car to drive. I basically had to put myself in that place of already having it. And when I was doing that in such a desperate place, such a place where, you know, you could easily just go into depression or go into the space where it's just dragging itself out, right? Reality is just dragging itself out. I had to dig deep and just feel into a space where I felt like it was already done, that I was held in a space where I wasn't held at all. I felt vulnerable. I felt like I didn't have nobody. So in my head, I would literally imagine a different part of my brain working when I was having faith, right? And faith for me was, like I said, imagining it already being done. Because I was doing the work. It was just a matter of my outside world matching my inside world and matching how much work I've been putting in. Right? Because some people, they go work their whole life all the way up to their 70s and I have nothing to show for it. But I thank God for making me wise enough to choose better on my path. And to have faith in moments where it feels like it's impossible. Things are impossible to do. You know, people are impossible to deal with. I had to learn how to have faith. You know? So I was at that place. I was at that place where I didn't have a car. I didn't have a place to stay. You know, I was homeless with my wife and my cat and my daughter. And I was just in a space where I had to have faith. I had to think that it was already done. And little by little, day by day, step by step, moment by moment, it worked out. It worked out in divine time, in divine alignment with the divine people that was meant to be on my path. And so that's how I established having faith in a higher power. Now, confirming the higher power was a whole different level. Because it was in the midst of me learning that I was pouring my cup out into everybody else's cup. And I wasn't pouring back into myself. of and what I am not in control of. And that really helped me confirm God. Because anybody will tell you, you can have faith. You can have faith 10,000 times in a row. But if you ain't learning the lesson that God is showing you, then you're going to keep continuing that pattern. So that's how discernment comes in. Discernment is the cut to certain people, patterns, and things. To learn how to cut people, patterns, and things out of my life. Have discernment. Not judge, but have discernment. Choose if I should pay attention to certain things. Give my attention to certain things. Like I said, once I cut these people, once I did the work, right? Because I've been doing the work, but once I applied the work, because I studied so long, I did the work. But once I applied the work with discernment, that's when God started communicating with me on a deeper level. That showed me that I don't need a middleman to get to God, to have a relationship with God. I don't need a middleman. I don't need a deity. I don't need a fairy. I don't need none of these different things. All I need is myself, my discernment, my faith, and my discipline. And so I learned discernment through all the harsh lessons I had to learn in life. And growing up and realizing that I'm fed up. And I don't want to deal with this shit no more. I don't want to keep being people's doorstep. You know? I don't want to keep beating a dead horse and expecting it to, get up and be alive and work out. Right? So I learned once I let go of certain things, really my ego, I had to let go of a lot of my ego thoughts. I had to let go of a lot of my ego impulsive decision making. I had to really learn how to articulate myself and speak properly over my life. Be the narrator of my life. Because everybody want to tell you their opinion. And a lot of people take people's opinion as fact. And it's just their opinion. So, yeah. I'm still working on myself. I ain't stopped. The work ain't done. Don't make my persona or my confidence make you think that I've got it all figured out. No, I don't. I just did a lot of the work, so I know a lot of the answers. And now I'm still learning how to apply the work, how to apply the answers, how to apply the lessons, how to look at my lessons, how to look at my losses in life as lessons. who I am today. Made me grow into the man that I am today. Made me know my boundary. Made me know my limits with things and people and opinions and patterns. It made me learn my limits. It made me realize that I'm a human being, just like everybody else. I ain't no prophet. I ain't here for you to look up to me. Nah. Everybody's on a different timing with God. Everybody's on their own understanding. And it's not our job a lot of the times to make people realize. It's God's job. Within you. That's whose job it is to make sure that you came here to do what you were supposed to do. Everybody's here to do what they're supposed to do in life. Whether they do it or not, that's on them. But I know I'm doing my job. And I know I'm doing my best. Got it all figured out. But I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know where I am now. And I'm grateful. Because where I am now, there's still a path to me to get to where I need to be. On God's mission, on God's plan, on God's time. Discernment.